All right, everybody, welcome back to Necessary Censorship for football. Are we ready for some football?
Football?
So,
Maybe. Yeah.
by the time you guys see this, the superb owl game, the big game, will have already been played, but as you can see, we kind of in football attire. At least I decided to bust out my Clay Matthews jersey. It was either that or my old Gilbert Brown jersey from high school, but I didn't think I'd fit in it anymore.
I have my jock strap and cup on. I'm ready.
I have a brawl.
We're going to test that later. But what we kind of thought would be fun would we kind of talk about our favorite football movies, and then we'll make some predictions about what we think's going to happen tomorrow in the big game, and we'll kind of go from there. But
The superb owl?
the superb owl, yep, the big game that's in Phoenix tomorrow, actually. So I think by the time you see this will probably be the Wednesday after the superb owl. And,
We're going to have to be really cognizant of that.
you know what's going to be hilarious is if we can keep this up for the rest of the
Yes.
podcast. But so I don't know if did you guys have any difficulty with this? Or I mean, I know there was maybe a couple like football movies that were like instantly like my number
Yes,
one
yeah,
was an instant number one.
Yeah, my top two were
Top
like,
two?
yep, top two. That's
Okay.
Well, I
and
had
so,
a rough time. The only thing was is it just all about football, or did it have football in it? And
yeah, football in it.
a father and
Yeah,
son
so-
throwing a football
Yeah, a couple of my
out in the yard.
choices.
Close
Okay.
enough.
Yeah.
Hell,
couple
if
of
you
my
wanted to
choices
pick the
had
last
that,
Boy
yeah.
Scout,
Oh, okay, sure.
no, that's so.
I forgot about that one.
There was football in it. The guy blew his head off in the
Yeah,
opening
I
scene.
Forgot about that.
Pulled it out of. I think he pulled the gun out of his jockstrap.
I'm sure Johnny Knoxville wore a football helmet in Jackass. So hey,
There is probably during the cup test.
Probably need
Yes.
to change my list now, guys.
So I started from number 5, and that's why I figured that we could start at 5 and work down.
we're
to
going
one.
bottom
yeah,
up.
I wanted to kind of work from the bottom, and I
Should we go one at a time just in case?
yeah,
like, you
exactly,
name off your list
exactly. So I figured
I have
we'd
the same ones.
all at number 5s. So Jeremy, I'm going to pick on you. What was your number 5?
Number 5. Like I said, I didn't know, but I thought the scene in the Batman, the one with the Joker. What's the second one where the football scene where Bane blows up?
Well, that's
the
in the
stadium?
third one. That's Dark Knight Rises.
I thought that was having to do with football, and I thought that was a cool scene how the whole stadium gets blown up. So that's
Fun
that's in
fact.
That was 5 for me.
Because we were there. It was filmed in Pittsburgh at
Yep.
the formerly known as Heinz Field.
Yeah.
The entire team of the Gotham Knights, at least the vast majority of them, were Pittsburgh Steeler players.
really?
Wasn't
Heinz Ward is the one that actually lives.
Oh, okay.
They actually made an action figure of him in the Gotham Knights
Oh, wow.
jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben Roethlisberger is seen at the side, and then a couple fat linemen, which I don't know because I'm not a
Mm.
Steelers fan. But that was a fun fact of that they brought the Pittsburgh Steelers in
They had
as
football.
extras.
Had football.
It fits into my
I
rules.
thought it was a pretty awesome scene, and it sticks with me.
Jeez. All right, Rob, what do you got?
Gazoon height.
Thank you.
Let's see. Well, we're going from
Superb
bottom.
owl.
We're going from the bottom up. So it's a little bit of a problem because, like I said, I had my top two.
Yeah.
But then falling in the hierarchy,
Because I'm very curious what our number ones what they're going to
Yeah.
line up as. So anyway,
I think I might have to go with the longest yard.
which one?
The longest yard, the one with the jailhouse.
No. But I mean, okay.
Adam
So
Sandler
there's
or
the
Burt
Adam
Reynolds?
Sandler one, and then
Yeah,
there's
original.
actually the
No.
original one that
No,
came out in the
Adam-
70s.
Adam Sandler one.
Because
I think that's what most of us know is that
that's
one.
the majority of the people are going to know it.
Yeah.
And I just remember watching the original one because Burt Reynolds is in the original one. He plays the
Burt
Adam
Reynolds.
Sandler character in the original one, and if you remember.
I don't
in
think I've even seen it.
The
I'll be
newest
honest.
one, one of the I can't remember what it was, but Sandler throws a football into a guy's balls a couple times. Like he says, "Let him through."
Yeah.
I think it's Stone Cold. It might even be Stone Cold, or I don't remember. But one of them, it's a linebacker that keeps sacking him over and over. He's like, "Let him through," and he throws the ball twice into his balls. Another little fun fact here is in the original one, Ray Nitschke of the Green Bay Packers was that linebacker who gets the ball thrown into his
shit.
balls.
So they copied
Yeah,
that scene.
yeah, exactly.
That's
so
cool.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
didn't
my
know.
number 5, And this one I struggled with because I actually have a couple honorable mentions I wrote down. So I struggled with some of the honorable mentions and number 5. So number 5 is kind of a de facto. I went with Varsity Blues. I went with Varsity Blues because it is corny, but god damn, I love that movie.
Yeah. It was that's one where we're like early.
See,
It was late 90s.
Yes. Where we
you're
were
younger.
Yeah, we were younger. We were still that age where it was.
Dawson has a really bad Texas accent in there.
Sure does.
And you got a
Whipped
whipped cream
cream.
bikini.
Whipped
Yeah, exactly. You know,
the iconic moment of that movie.
well, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's what stuck out as my number 5. I just was like,
Which since it's out there, that one's a little bit higher on my list.
Okay.
I would put that one as number 3 for me.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was right there with you.
Yeah.
It was number 3.
So what do you got as a 4, Jeremy?
4, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't look it up. I was just going off memory. It's called Lucas. It had Corey Haim in it and Charlie Sheen, and it was a high school movie where he was a little kid and he liked this girl, and he ends up joining the team kind of thing, kind of like Rudy.
Yeah.
And then I want to say he gets, if I'm not mistaken, he gets a pass right at the end, and then he gets sacked. And if I remember the ending right, I think everyone thought he was like dead. He gets up and he's like, but it was.
But is it so?
Like
It's kind of like a.
It was an '80s kind of movie.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like
Oh,
I
so
just
it's a little
remember
bit
watching it
older.
with my sisters, and it stuck in my head. And I just remember, just one of the football movies that always just appears to me. Yeah, it was Corey Haim.
Corey Haim?
Haim. If I'm saying, Haim.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, he was wearing glasses, and then Charlie Sheen
I think
was
I know
really
what you're
young.
talking about now that you say that.
The redhead girl from Goonies.
Yeah,
she was in it.
yeah,
too.
I think I
She
know what
was,
you're
like,
talking about.
He liked her, but she liked Charlie Sheen kind of thing. So I think Corey went onto the football. He tried to join or whatever just to impress her.
Nice.
And he made a play at the end, kind of thing, like a Rudy. It was all like a Rudy copy. I think it was their version in the '80s.
Well, you'd say Rudy would be a copy of that then because it came after.
Yeah, I guess even though the story I think was kind of maybe the story was there. But, that was my 4th.
Number 4. Huh?
All right,
And then
Rob.
Rudy was it ranked right above it.
Oh, let's see. Number 4. I might have to throw the Replacements in there.
Okay.
At number 4.
That's exactly where I have the replacements
At
too.
number
Is
4?
number
Yeah.
4. Once again, it's because it is based off of. It's kind of funny how we are using Superb Owl to avoid any sort of issues. That's kind of what the replacements did. Is they
we should have when you edit this, we should have a little counter at the bottom of the screen.
Superb Owl.
Yeah. How many times we said Superb Owl?
yeah, so it's based off of the NFL strike. And so I mean they had all the same teams. They had Dallas, they had Washington. Washington, what is their team in the Sentinels, the Washington Sentinels, in place of the Washington Redskins. You have the Dallas, whatever they are, in place of the Cowboys. But and so and it is a true story of how they, based off of the true story, a little embellishment with here and there, but the scab players making the playoffs.
It was one of those surprise movies where you're like, this is not going to be any good, but it ended up.
Yeah, but it has
surprising.
Keanu. It has Keanu.
Yeah, but he had a lot of movies during that time where
Gene Hackman. I mean, you have
You're
John
like,
Favreau.
Oh, yeah. He was a crazy dude in that one.
That Welsh kicker, who's
who's
not
drunk.
strong. He's wiry.
Yep.
He's wiry. Yeah. So that okay. Number 3, Jeremy.
Mine was Rudy.
Rudy. Okay.
That was where it fell in.
Absolutely, Rob.
Well, number 3 was Varsity Blues.
Oh, that's right, Varsity.
We threw that in there.
Now mine. This one has become. If it weren't for number 1, what I eventually have is 1 and 2, it might be a contender. Is I picked Draft Day with Kevin Costner.
I have never seen it.
I watched it on it's directed by Ivan Reitman.
Okay.
Director of Ghostbusters, director of Stripes, kind of.
Ghost.
Yeah, he.
Goes to football pass.
But yeah, it's Kevin Costner plays a GM of the Cleveland Browns, this is where you got to stretch your imagination. Is that the Cleveland Browns have a good GM and a good owner, and it's all about they kind of show I don't know how realistic it is, but all the back so. And this is the other thing that's crazy is the projected number 1 pick of the draft is a Wisconsin Badger quarterback. Good luck with that. The Wisconsin Badgers haven't had a quarterback.
Fiction.
But so that's the whole thing, and so it's all about like he wants this. And actually, Chadwick Boseman, Chadwick Boseman is in there is one of the players that Kevin Costner really wants, and awesome movie. I love Draft
I'll
Day.
have to go watch it.
Yeah, awesome
I'll have to
movie. I
watch
mean,
that
it's very quick, and it does it's obviously the NFL is full on board with it because Roger Goodell makes an appearance in it. They go to the draft. I mean, it's all the multiple NFL team logos are in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Draft Day, Kevin Costner, fantastic football movie.
All right.
All righty, number 2, Jeremy.
Actually, Replacements was number 2.
You had number 2 for Replacements. Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
gotcha, Rob. I know.
The Blind Side.
You know what? I have never seen that.
Really?
I actually totally forgot about that movie.
Julia Roberts, right?
No.
Yeah, what's her name?
Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock with
Yeah.
the yes.
It's for me. The acting in that movie is probably some of the best acting.
Now, did that win an award?
I'm sure it had to.
I thought she won for it.
Did she win something for it? Okay.
I thought she
Because I know
won
it was nominated for
either
Best
Golden
Picture, I believe.
Globe
But
or,
man behind the curtain. Can you look that up?
He took the day
he's
off.
right there.
He took a day off.
He's on union break
Hold
right
on.
now.
Well, and that's based off of the player who ended up he played for the Ravens. He might even I don't know if he's still playing or not. He was a lineman, right?
Yeah.
I thought I read a story somewhere that he like sued for that movie or something like that. Like some.
He
stuff,
didn't like how he was portrayed, or
yeah, stuff was like told a little bit wrong and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
I'd have to look it up again, but it might be just creating drama for the podcast. But we'll see. I'll have to look it up again.
okay. My number 2, The Water Boy,
Yep.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about
with Bobby Boucher.
What?
With
What?
the foosball.
Waterboy would
Mama's
have
the
been.
devil.
Wow.
Waterboy would have been on my list, except for the fact that I can't stand him in that movie.
You don't like the southern
I have
Baba
to say,
Boucher.
Everything moves down.
The water.
I would have to say that would be my second one. Everything has to move down one. I totally forgot about that movie.
Beat on me all you want, but please don't spit in the water.
Foosballs are the devil.
I invented electricity.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, so
oh,
that was
man.
my number 2, and I struggled with that one too. But where to put it? Like I said, because it's so ridiculous.
It is.
And to me,
That's
one of the funniest parts are in there isn't even necessarily the football parts. It's the one with Captain Insano where Paul Big Show is laughing at him, and then the one scene where all the other teams they like it's a Sports Center thing with Dan Patrick, I think, and they're like. All these other teams decided to put their water boys in as players, and they show a kid from Michigan just getting annihilated. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Bourbon Bowl and
That was a good one.
all that stuff. So I went with number 2 with the Water Boy.
Nice.
All right, so now we're up to number 1. What do you got, Jeremy?
Might sound. I like Jerry Maguire.
You know what? I was wondering if anyone was gonna pick that.
I really liked that movie. I thought it was really. That was one of my top like Tom Cruise movies because it showed more of an acting kind of thing and where he was a lot more serious in acting and stuff. And of course, football was in it.
It is. Show me the money.
So
Show me the money.
yeah, I thought it was.
And what team did Cuba play for? Was it the Phoenix Cardinals? Arizona Cardinals? Was it that? He was a Cardinal, wasn't he?
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say yeah. I'd have to look it up. Again.
I remember because that came out
bit.
when I was in high school, and I remember a good friend of mine who was my friend Dave. He had saw it already, and he was like, "Man, we gotta go." He loved it. And 2 guys going to see Jerry Maguire. Hey, you know what? It's a love story with some football sprinkled in there. Yeah, that is an enjoyable movie, and actually, I think that won some awards too, or might have been nominated for something.
Cuba won an Oscar for that one.
That's right. That's what it was. He won. Yeah, that's right. Best supporting.
actor, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And then I think he disappeared or something. You don't really see too much. He was
Well,
he was in a Disney like Snow Dogs movie or
He
something.
might have gotten
and then-
canceled for something. He did. There's something happened with Cuba recently. Who cares? It's not football related. Anyway, Rob, you're number 1.
Rudy.
Yeah.
I am going to agree with you on that
Really?
one. It was just on probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times I've seen that goddamn movie, but when they start chanting his name at the end and Coach Dan Devine finally looks and goes, get him in there, and he runs in, the crowd run, I start freaking bawling every goddamn time. I'm almost getting teary-eyed now thinking about Rudy running in there.
Right here.
Holy shit. A couple years ago, I was a little jaded because some stories came out that Rudy Rudiger, or actually, that's not even his name. Rudy isn't even his first name. I think it's Daniel. Dan Rudiger, but he goes by Rudy, obviously from his last name.
Yeah.
There was some rumors that he got involved in some business venture trying to capitalize on the movie, and there were some things that kind of went bad. But I kind of looked into it recently after that, and I don't believe any of it was anything came to fruition or anything. And even though I don't really care, like, the whole jersey thing of the players going in and laying the jerseys on Dan Devine's desk, that never happened. I don't care. That movie gets me every goddamn
Well, you can even look at
time.
the movie where it's not even based on a true story. It's still a good, even if you didn't know that.
He's just trying something.
still
Then
a
you got a
good movie.
fat John Favreau in there that he's just trying to get laid the whole movie.
He plays a lot of football movies, huh?
Yeah, gets in there. So there's our top 5. If anybody cares to let us know
What's
what you guys
your
think.
top 5?
Anybody have any honorable mentions? Any movies that you kind of think that maybe
One that one of our friends brought up was Point Break, the original Point Break, because they had football.
there is a beach football scene in there at night?
Yeah.
And then also the new Top Gun, the movie we were having.
Once again, yep, they
so
were there.
just having a little bit of football in there. That's
What about you, Rob? I have 4.
Really? That many, huh?
Well, and I actually 3 on here, but one I thought of just kind of on the way over here. So I'll give you the one I thought of on the way over here. I haven't seen it in forever, but it was called The Program with James Caan.
yeah.
Omar Epps is in it, and they kind of touched on a lot of things of, like, there was one guy, like the big crazy linebacker who's like doing steroids, and then you got like the one guy that's he hopes he's going to make the NFL, and what happens, he has like a debilitating injury where they show his leg and it's like twisted backwards and
Theismann style?
yeah, and I think there was actually a scene in there that might have been in one of the original cuts. I might even have it on the VHS I still have of it at home, where like the players all laid down in the middle of traffic and had cars driving past them, and that people were freaking out that they were showing this movie because idiot people were going to try doing it in real life and get run over. So that was kind of thrown out there as a real low honorable mention.
Okay.
So here's my 3 though that were kind of right in line with Varsity Blues. Invincible with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, okay.
Where he plays
Never seen
Vince Papali, I believe his name is, where the Eagles in the 80s, I believe, held open tryouts for. So if anyone's ever, side note, if anyone ever watches It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they did a rip on when this movie came out. They did it where because the storyline is that the Eagles are like playing off the popularity of the movie. And they decided to have tryouts.
So you went there.
And the group with Danny DeVito does, I think, mushrooms and gets trapped in a barrel, I think, and he's on drugs and whatever. It's hilarious. But I went with Invincible because it's another one of those Rudy-type stories where they have a guy that's just from Philadelphia, just, he ends up going to tryouts. Dick Vermeil is the head coach at the time. And so he ends up impressing. He's a little bit older than everybody. Makes the team and ends up plays in the NFL for a couple years, and kind of the thing is, it ends with him, on special teams. He ends up knocking on a punt return or something like that. Ends up blasting the guy, picking up the ball and running back for a touchdown. That really happened.
Wow.
So it's not just kind of a made up thing. And actually, going back to Rudy, I actually found the real footage of it. He actually does legitimately get a sack and everything, and it's pretty ridiculous. There is footage out there. And the last couple plays are pretty similar to the movie. There's a little difference, But yeah, he's in there for I think it was an incomplete pass and then the sack. He does, and it's not as good of a sack in the movie. It is, if anything, it's probably a half a sack. He should have got credit for, but whatever. But yeah, so Invincible.
That one was, I'd say Invincible. I seen it once.
Which one? Invincible.
Invincible, and it just, I don't know, it was one of those movies. It was okay. I watched it once. It was it was a little slow for me.
It can be.
It just. But I watched it because it was kind of predictable because you knew, okay,
Oh, yeah.
this is a story, this is the truth. So I made it through the movie, but it was one I'll probably never
Oh
watch
yeah,
it
no,
again.
it's like I said, it falls kind of in the same category of Rudy, where it's, like you said, you kind of know where it's going. But
Yeah.
the next one on my list, which the reason it's on my list is there's one specific scene in it that, as someone who played sports in high school and who's actively coaching now, and I always look for ways to like get my players hyped. Like I coached basketball forever, and I love speeches by coaches in movies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. If I saw this in the movie theater, I'd probably want to like get out of my seat and go run out out of the theater thinking like, let's go. Any Given Sunday.
Al Pacino,
Al Pacino, Dennis Quaid, Jamie Foxx. But there's a scene in there where Al Pacino's giving his speech to the team, and he's talking about inches, and he starts going on about like football is a game of inches. You know, we can come up an inch short, and we don't make the first down, or we don't get to the we push and we fight for every single inch. It is one of the most. I hear that speech, and I would run through a brick wall for Al Pacino at that moment.
Pacino.
Yeah. So Any Given Sunday.
I thought you were gonna say Radio.
No, that's with Cuba Gooding Jr., isn't it?
Yeah, I guess he was in another football
Yeah,
movie.
just because and it's like Dennis Quaid is the aging quarterback, Jamie Foxx is the guy, the up and comer, and there's kind of like some, James Woods is in it as like kind of a corrupt team doctor, I believe. There's a lot of big, and I believe it's an Oliver Stone movie, so it's a typical Oliver Stone movie where it's a little bit whatever, it's a little too long and stuff. But oh man, if there's any way that we can get by some sort of copyright infringement and throw that speech in this freaking video, I don't care. Even Pacino going inches, I'm all fine. We'll do it.
Wow.
And then the last one, I put on just because it's more from nostalgia of me growing up. I love this movie. I haven't seen it forever. I think I need to find it. Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula, Kathy Ireland, and Sinbad.
Wasn't the coach on there? Was he? He's Champ, right? From Anchorman.
No. He's bald and he doesn't have a mustache. No, but he's not the coach. It's one of the most ridiculous. It's almost kind of a comedy, and it's based off of the death penalty given to the Southern Methodist University years and years ago in real life, where the program is in such a scandal ridden that they pretty much give them the death penalty, meaning that they can't play in bowls, they can't recruit, they can't give scholarships, they can't. And so it's
random people are coming.
Yeah, so this movie was
a kicker, right?
Huh? Kathy, yeah. So what was hilarious is that the name of the school is the Texas State University, which I think is just hilarious because it's like state and university. The fighting, from Quantum Leap, yep. But the fighting armadillos.
Yeah.
And they find out that Scott Bakula, who's like in his 40s or something like that, has a year of eligibility left. So they go get him. And to get him enrolled to be their quarterback. And then Sinbad is actually a teacher at Texas State. Jeez. And they realize, oh, hey, look at coincidentally, he has some eligibility left. So they bring him in as a lineman. There's, then I can't remember, but they play another, they lose every freaking game in that movie until the end. They play the number one Texas something. There's another Texas school is the number one team in the country, and then they end up beating them. Mm-hmm. Kathy Ireland, comes on she's a soccer player. They see her kicking soccer balls the length of a football field or something, so they bring her in as a kicker. Very ahead of its time, if you think about it. Yes. Very, very gender inclusive.
90s, right?
Oh yeah, I wish I should have wrote down it,
94,
but
95 maybe.
I think you're in the ballpark. I think you're in the ballpark there. They play at one point. you guys would probably, I can't remember what his name, but you would know, like, he plays the head of the university. He doesn't like the coach. He doesn't like the football. So he sets up a scrimmage where they play like a prison team. But the prison team, I think, has like former NFL players on it. If I remember, Dick Butkus was actually one of them in there. You know, and it's, you know, they're all saying all these crimes that they're all with. And one guy like lays out a player and he's like, oh my God, what are you in jail for? And he's like, computer fraud. You know, like just really stupid. It's a lame movie. But I think that's where it hit my honorable mention being because it's so nostalgic for me. So, yeah, that's my take on football movies. There were more than when I really started thinking about it, there were more than I thought there were going to be.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of like going through my mental list, and then I googled some. Like, wow, there's really that many.
Yeah,
Well,
none of us even brought up Friday Night Lights or anything.
You know,
like
and that one I've only seen about half of it with
Was
Billy
it
Bob
Was
Thornton.
it Matthew McConaughey in a movie?
Well, that
too?
was We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall,
And
so
that was
another
about the tragedy of the
story, yeah.
football team that was killed in a plane crash, and he had the responsibility of
Yep.
kind of
Putting it together,
building the
yeah.
team again. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights is pretty good. You know, there's Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington. There's Gridiron Gang with The Rock.
Sure, yeah.
You know, all of them are pretty good. It was just where they fit. Like for me, it really came down to watchability and
Yeah.
you know what do I love about these? And goddamn Rudy.
God damn, yep.
You know, my wife makes fun of me every time. She's like, "Oh, you're watching Rudy, huh?" Yeah, I'm gonna be crying soon. Yeah. So, if anyone wants to let us know, you know, maybe what they think. If we're right, we're wrong. Who's got a better list? I think I do. But you know, hey, we might go.
I just thought of the one scene with Waterboy. I think it was Lawrence Taylor when he's talking in Waterboy.
Don't do crack.
I know that.
And then
I
Firuza
just
Balk going, I'm
died out
thinking
laughing.
about stealing LT's Ferrari or whatever it is. Yeah. Well, I think we can wrap this up. You know, so obviously we got the Superb Owl coming up tomorrow
Should
between
make some picks.
between the cities of Kansas City and Philadelphia. So I don't know about you. I've been to both cities.
Invincible.
Yes.
Yeah, and so if I had to take a pick on, this isn't not my pick. I'm just saying I enjoyed Philadelphia when I was there. Fantastic food. You know, it wasn't as crime ridden, at least that
Brotherly
you
love.
see now. Yeah, you know, they're the homeless are everywhere, but whatever, they didn't bother me. And Kansas City was okay, not bad. Good food, good barbecue.
Good barbecue.
Yeah,
Keith
good
the
barbecue.
masterpiece.
You know, I saw Arrowhead Stadium up close. It's right next to the where the Royals play. They share a parking lot. They're right next to each other. You know, I guess I'm gonna start with you, Jeremy, again. What do we got? Who do you think's gonna win, and what do you got as a score?
I have a feeling Philadelphia.
Going Philly?
Going Philly, and I'm thinking a score. I was kind of going 28-21.
28, 21?
28-21. So
Playing it
Eagles
safe.
over-
Playing it
yeah,
safe.
Chiefs.
Over under is, I believe, 50 or 51.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, they're apparently expecting the defenses to not show up.
If I
Watch
pick,
it. Watch it'll be a 9-6.
Oh my
final
God! If
score.
it's
Are we going MVP too or no?
We'll get there. We'll get
Okay.
there. Yeah, actually, talking about low score, did you guys see there was a high school basketball game that ended 4-2?
Ouch.
Oh,
And the hilarious thing is someone took the video of it, so it's being filmed from the sideline and the camera's going. There's literally and it's fast. They have it like on fast forward playing. There's times the camera doesn't move for minutes from one side of the court because they're just passing the ball. It was almost like
they wasted the whole time clock.
yeah, and then the one guy ends up. I think the first two. It was 2-0. I think at halftime because a guy got fouled that actually took a shot and he made 2 free throws.
Wow.
And it was 4-2. And because they decided to really, show off their ball handling skills, they messed up and missed their shot to win it at the buzzer to go up or at least tie it at 4-2.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's a hockey score.
Good
I would have
Lord.
just zoomed out. And just got the whole court.
It
and just
was-
went and got some snacks or something.
As a fan, I probably would have booed. Even if my kids were
Yeah.
playing, I might have booed.
Boo
Anyway.
Yeah.
Booing your own kids.
Anyway. Well,
Yeah.
more like booing. Anyway, Rob, what do you got?
I'm feeling Kansas City on this.
Kansas City, what are you thinking?
For score?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 32-28.
32-28. Me and you we're pretty close here. I
Their defenses are
Yeah,
shut up, or what?
I think it's gonna be a close game.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, because the spread is almost a coin flip at this point. They're almost there's not one team. At one point, I think it was up to 3.5 in favor of Philly. I think right now it's back to like 1.5, which is it's nothing. That's a coin flip. You might as well just pick them. I kind of thought the same thing, especially when I saw the over under, and I kind of looked into some of the players. I really think it's gonna be Kansas City. I'm going 35-32 though.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a little bit closer, but I'm going 35-32 Kansas City. My MVP. I know it's everyone's. I think the top picks everyone's going to go either like Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. I think it's going to be Travis Kelce, the tight end from the Chiefs. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it without Mahomes, but he has been kind of. Mahomes is a little beaten up. He's got a kind of.
He's been on fire.
And he's just been catching everything, and he's awesome. Plus, I've had him on fantasy teams for years, and I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm saying Travis Kelce is going to win the MVP on Sunday. What do you guys think?
Well, not just to go out. I'm not picking him, but he would have to be for them to win. He would have to be on fire, I think, and for sure he would. If they're on fire and that happens, he would get it. But go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just thinking about possible MVPs of this game, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling does play for Kansas City, doesn't he?
I believe he does, which would be hilarious from a Packer standpoint.
He catches 9 balls for like 160 some yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, oh God, and I'd say, and I almost didn't pick Kansas City for spite because I can't stand Patrick Mahomes' wife. And I just know that if they win, she's gonna be annoying. I don't follow her on any social media by any stretch of imagination, but I know there's gonna be news reports of the crap she says or spraying champagne on the fans. All that. She is an awful human being. I almost didn't pick Kansas City because I can't stand her. I don't want to see her win.
Not the MVP.
Yeah, no, but I do think Casey's gonna win it. Do you have an MVP pick at all with the Eagles?
Well, at first I was gonna say Hurts, but I ended up watching a show today, and a guy made a good point for their new wide receiver that they brought in.
Is it Armstrong?
AJ, is it AJ Green? I think it is. Is that his name?
That was the receiver
guy, right?
for.
I know his name's AJ. I can't remember.
I think it's Armstrong.
AJ Brown.
Is it AJ Brown?
Man, we are looking like a bunch of idiots right now.
Sorry, I looked the last moment.
Hence why I brought a sheet, because my memory sucks.
But he's
looking like an idiot is nothing new to me.
It was a wide receiver that they just brought in this year, and he's been tearing it up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jalen Hurts, I can see, is gonna, he's gonna, his being young and gonna be.
He would have to do something fantastic because even on the records, I think they were saying he's second to last in touchdown passes.
Could be.
So
but sometimes you don't need a guy to throw 5 touchdowns. You need him to manage the game.
Again, Trent Dilfer.
Exactly. He won a freaking Super Bowl.
Hey, he used to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He was
quarterback for a while.
And finally, the last question of the day.
Uh-oh.
What's the coin toss going to be to open the game? What do we got? Jeremy?
Actually, I'll go with Kansas City's going to call it. They'll get it.
Are they the ones who call it? I think it's based by the record. I don't think it matters.
They'll win it. Let's just say they'll.
Okay, what are they going to do? Heads or tails? Heads or tails?
I think it's going to be tails.
Okay, Rob.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the mascot owl that the Eagles bring in for the game swoops down and snatches the coin out of midair before it's able to...
Holy shit, if that's a prop bet in Vegas, take it, people. Take it. I'm
one or a CGI.
No, it's a real eagle makes off with the coin.
And Rob, I'll let you read what my pick is.
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. So, yeah, we'll see how correct we are when this posts. Like I said, we don't claim to be experts, but hopefully this was entertaining enough. I hope everyone enjoys the Superb Owl.
Superb Owl.
Anybody do anything special? We're probably not. I mean, we got invited to go hang out with my parents, and I kind of said, honestly, I don't want to go when you're going to have all this amazing food that I can't eat since I'm on keto. So I'm making some really good like bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. I'm gonna make some
sounds good.
spicy ranch avocado dip.
Avocado.
I bought some low carb tortillas that I'm gonna air fry the shit out of to make chips out of. Oh yeah, so that's the plan.
Yep. Honestly, I probably won't even watch the game.
I'm more interested in the commercials because honestly, they're gonna be the thing I'm looking forward to is there's gonna be a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer.
Oh,
Nice.
A trailer for the new Flash movie with Michael Keaton as Batman,
Oh, yep.
and possibly the ancient Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones trailer.
Oh.
Possibly.
Possible last one.
Yep, possibly. So that's it. That's a wrap for us. We'll see how it goes. Coming up, I know we'll be talking about some things. I know we're actually planning a road trip in a couple weeks. We're going to be going out to go see the movie Cocaine Bear. So we'll be prepared for that review. So for Jeremy, for Rob, I'm Jason. Thank you for watching. Everybody, enjoy the Superb Owl from all of us at Censorship. Necessary Censorship. Have a good night. Take care, everybody.
Boy.
Ah.